Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, and the reason that I'm staring at the back end of this Honda Pilot, I want you to see in the right hand corner the little badge that says 4-wheel drive. I've been noticing this a lot on various new cars, including the Ford EcoSport that I test drove last week and wrote about, and that's up on the site epautos.com. I'm seeing it on multiple models, and these models all have one thing in common, and that is that they are not trucks, nor are they based on truck type layouts, which heretofore in the past has been the thing which has defined a four-wheel drive vehicle. I kind of regard this as a sort of automotive stolen valor type of situation, and let me explain why. Technically, these all-wheel drive vehicles, which is what that is, that Pilot in front of me and the EcoSport that I had before, all four wheels are driven. So technically, yes indeed, it's a four-wheel drive vehicle. But really, they're trying to kind of buff up and toughen up the credentials of these cars, these all-wheel drive cars that are based on car platforms, front-wheel drive car platforms. Here's the difference. Truck type systems are fundamentally rear-wheel drive. The engine is mounted front to back, longitudinally. Behind it is a transmission with a drive shaft, and that connects to a rear axle in the back, and the vehicle normally routes all the power to the rear wheels. Okay? Now, if you have four-wheel drive added to that system, when it's engaged, about 50% of the engine's power is kicked forward to the front wheels. It's exactly the opposite with regard to these all-wheel drive vehicles that are based on front-wheel drive cars. Most of the power, most of the time, goes to the front wheels. All of the power if it's front-wheel drive. Now, if it has all-wheel drive, the way most of these systems are set up, if the front wheels begin to slip, some of the power will be kicked to the back wheels, and some of them can route as much as 90 or I think even 100% of the power, momentarily at least, to the rear wheels. But fundamentally, they are what we call in the business front-biased systems rather than rear-biased systems. And here's the next thing. Virtually all of the car-based all-wheel drive systems on the market do not have the capacity to, well, they don't have a two-speed transfer case and low-range gearing. Some of them, a few of them, Jeep, for example, has a system that uses a pretty clever planetary gearbox with the transmission to provide a gear reduction ratio, but that's still not the same thing. It really is a two-speed transfer case and having four-wheel drive low-range gearing. And the long and short of it is that four-wheel drive, that's historically of the truck type variety, is much more heavy-duty and rugged than all-wheel drive. And this idea of marketing these all-wheel drive systems as quote-unquote four-wheel drive, I think, is on the cheesy side. Not a huge fan of it. It's like somebody who was a cook in the Army claiming that he was a special forces operator. Both in the military, yeah, but there's a big difference between a guy who was a cook behind the lines and a special forces operator. So anyway, I'll have more along these lines up at epautos.com, the net's best libertarian gearhead site. And thanks for viewing, and we'll catch up with you again soon.